Hello, this is your review for your Chapter 6 test. First of all, question number 1, it says 10y squared, and you're going to have a similar question with different numbers. 8y squared plus 14y minus 15 minus 4y squared minus 7y minus 9 over 8y squared plus 14y minus 15. So since it's already over a common denominator, that means we can join it together and make everything be subtracted across the tops of the fractions. So what is 10y squared minus 4y squared? That's 6y squared. And what is 16y minus a negative 7y? Remember, when you minus a negative, it's like a positive. So 16y plus positive 7y is equal to 23y. And then positive 11 minus a negative 9 is positive 11 plus positive 9, which is 20. And now we have to factor out the top and the bottom. So let's drop the square off of the y squared and keep the plus sign. And plus times plus is plus, remember? And then in the bottom, drop the square off the y squared and keep the 8. And then that's going to have a plus, and positive times negative is negative, so that's a minus. Now we're going to do 6 times 20. 6 times 20 is 120. And then we need two numbers that add up to make 23. So let's see. 1 times 120, 2 times 60, 3 times 40, 4 times 30, 5 times 24, 6, maybe 6. 6 times 20, 7, 8, maybe 8. 8 times 15, yes, that works. 8 times 15, so it's going to be plus 8 plus 15. Then at the bottom, we're going to do 8 times 15, which is also 120. And this time we need two numbers that combine together to make 14. So wow, we have to go through the same numbers again. So 1 times 120, 2 times 60, 3 times 40, 4 times 30, 5 times 24, 6 times 20. That's going to work. Okay, so if I do a positive 20 and a negative 6, then I'll get 14. Next, I need to reduce the extraneous factors. So divide this one by 2, divide this one by 3, divide this one by 4, divide this one by 2. So then we'll get 3y plus 4, and then 2y plus 5. And then I'll have 2y plus 5 and 4y minus 3. So the 2y plus 5 cancels, and the final answer is 3y plus 4 divided by 4y minus 3. Perfect. Now let's go to problem number 2. So this one says 4 over x minus 3 plus 7 over x plus 2. Notice that they don't have the same denominator. So we're going to play the jealousy game. This fraction is jealous of the x plus 2 denominator the other fraction has. So we're going to add that one to the top and bottom. Multiply the top and bottom by that. Next, the other fraction is missing the x minus 3. So we're going to need that one. So then we multiply it together and we put it over a common denominator of x minus 3 times x plus 2. So 4 times x is 4x. 4 times 2 is 8. 7 times x is 7x. 7 times negative 3 is negative 21. And then add the common terms. 4x and 7x is 11x. 8 minus 21 is negative, um, let's see, negative 13. And then you keep the bottom factored apart. So leave it the same as it is. There we go. Next, number 3. 3x over x squared minus 81 minus 5 over x plus 9. But I'm going to erase the x squared minus 81 and change it to be factored out. That's the first thing you should do. It factors to be x minus 9 times x plus 9. The other fraction, if we play the jealousy game, it's going to be jealous of the x minus 9. So we're going to multiply at the top and bottom by the x minus 9. Now we're going to join them together into one denominator of x minus 9 and x plus 9. And then we're going to add and distribute the top. So we have 3x. We have negative 5 times x is negative 5x. Negative 5 times negative 9 is positive 45. Then combine the like terms. So it equals negative 2x plus 45 all over x minus 9 times x plus 9. Then we're going to go to example number 4. Example number 4 says 12 over x plus x over 12 all over x over 12 minus 12 over x. So the first step is to find the LCD of these little numbers, x, 12, and 12x. So the LCD is going to be a 12 with an x. So now put parentheses around every single term and multiply every term on the top and the bottom by the LCD. 12x, 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 12x. Then cancel. So the x cancels, 12 canceled, 12 cancels, the x cancels. So you're left with 12 times 12, which is 144, plus x times x, which is x squared, divided by x times x, which is x squared, minus 12 times 12, which is 144. And then you have to factor the bottom. So final answer is x squared plus 144 over x minus 12 times x plus 12. Presto. Then we're going to do number 5. 4 over x plus 2 minus 4 over x minus 2 all over 3 over x squared minus 4. First step we do is to factor the x squared minus 4. So erase the x squared minus 4, change it to be x minus 2 times x plus 2. So the common denominator is going to be x plus 2 as well as x minus 2. Then we're going to multiply every term by that. So multiply this term by x plus 2 times x minus 2. Multiply that one by x plus 2 times x minus 2. Multiply that one by x plus 2 times x minus 2. And then cancel. So the x plus 2 crosses out, then the x minus 2 crosses out, and the x plus 2 crosses out, and then the x minus 2 crosses out. So the only thing left is 4 times x minus 2 minus 4 times x plus 2 all over 3. Then distribute on the top. So if you have 4x minus 8 minus 4x minus 8 over 3, the 4x is crossed out, and then you get negative 16 over 3, which is kind of like John 3:16. Perfect. Now number 6. 63, a to the third, b to the 2, minus 14a to the 2b minus 42ab to the 2 divided by 7ab. So divide this a 7ab all the way through because it's a polynomial divided by a monomial. So 63 divided by 7 is 9, and then a to the third divided by a is a to the 2. B squared divided by b is just b, minus 14 divided by 2 is 2. 14 divided by 7 is 2. A squared divided by a is just a. B divided by b is nothing, and then negative 42 divided by 7 is 6. A divided by a is nothing, and then b squared divided by b is b. So the answer is 9a squared b minus 2a minus 6b. Next, we have a long division problem. So I'm going to write this in the correct order, which is not the same way as it is written on the paper. So we're dividing by the second term in the problem. So I'm going to put the second term first, 4x squared minus 1. And then you're dividing that into the first part of the problem that's written on your test. So 20x to the fourth plus 20x to the third minus 37x squared plus 17. And notice on this question, you're probably going to have an x that's missing. So I'm going to say plus 0x in place of the missing x. Then when you do long division, you divide only the first term into only the first term. So 4 divides into 20 and leaves you with 5. And then the x squared divides into the x to the fourth and leaves you with x squared. And then you multiply back by the second term. We're going to skip the first term. So we're going to skip that first term. 5x squared times negative 1 is negative 5x squared. And that actually should go over there, negative 5x squared. So I'm going to erase that part. Excuse me. Excuse me. Sorry. Thank you. Thank you very much. So the negative 5x squared goes there. Now we're going to switch signs and add everything up. So switch that negative sign to a positive, then bring down the 20x to the third, and then you have a negative 32x squared plus 0x plus 17. Now we're going to divide again. So divide the 4 into the 20 and you get positive 5. Divide the x squared into the x cubed and you get x. Now skip the first term, so leave just a blank space right there. Multiply back by the second term, so 5x times negative 1 is negative 5x, like that. Now switch the signs and add it all together. So, and remember this part right there is just blank. So you get negative 32x squared plus 5x plus 17. And then let's start over again and do it one more time. So divide the 4 into the negative 32 and you get negative 8. The x squared into the x squared and you get nothing. Now multiply it back by the second term and leave a blank space under that term. So negative 8 times negative 1 is positive 8. But then we're going to switch the signs to be negative 8. And now we're going to add it all together. So we get 5x and 17 minus 8 is 9. So then we write the answer in the proper form, which is 5x squared plus 5x minus 8 plus the remainder of 5x plus 9 over the original division problem, which is 4x squared minus 1. There we go. Okay, they call that a divisor, by the way. What you're dividing by is called the divisor. Okay, then let's do number 8, because that rhymes with great. And it says divide using synthetic division. And we're dividing 5x to the third minus 3x squared plus 5x minus 3 divided by x minus 2. So first step is to drop the x's off. So 5 space negative 3 space 5 space negative 3. Then you draw a little inverted box and you put the solution to this value, set it equal to 0. Yeah, x equals 2. So put the 2 where x equals in the front. And then you bring down the 5, multiply together, and then you add these up. 7. 2 times 7 is 14. And then, and make sure I'm doing it right. 5, -3, 5, -3. 2, 5, 10, 7, 14. 5 plus 14 is 19. 2 times 19 is 38. And -b plus 38 is 35. So the remainder is 35. And then we interpret this as the 19 is by itself, and then you put x by the 7, and you put an x squared by the 5, plus a remainder of 35 divided by the original divisor, which is x minus 2. There we go. And now we're going to do number 9. Number 9 says to find f of 6 with synthetic division. So that means you take the 6 that you're plugging into the function f, and you put it in the front of the synthetic division, and then you put the coefficients of the problem. The problem that I'm given is x to the 4th plus 4x to the 3rd plus 5x squared minus 2x minus 2. You put the coefficients, which is 1x to the 4th, 4, 5, -2, -2. And you do synthetic division. So bring down the 1, multiply by 6, add, multiply by 6, add, multiply by 6, add, multiply by 6. Wow, okay, 6 times 60 is 360. 6 times 4 is 24. 384. Add that up. Wait, I think I'm doing something wrong. Hold on. 1, 4, 5, -2, -2. And I'm plugging in 6. So 1 times 6 is 6. 4 plus 6 is 10. Oh, I did do something wrong. My fault. 6 times 10 is actually 60. 6 times 10 is 60, so that's 65. 6 times 65 is 360 plus 30, that's 390. Plus 2 minus 2 is 388. 6 times 388. Wow, this is getting huge. Wow, this is getting huge. So 388 times 6 is 2328. If I add -2 to that, I get 2326. So that's the answer. F of 6 equals 2326. Now let's go to number 10. Number 10 says 8x to the 3rd minus 22x to the 2 plus 13x minus 2 equals 0. And then on the side it says to try x equals 2. So we're going to do synthetic division with x equals 2. So it's going to be 8, -22, 13, -2. Bring down the 8. 8 times 2 is 16. Add them up, you get -6. Multiply, then you get 1, 2, then you get a remainder of 0. That means that x equals 2 sets the equation equal to 0, so that's the first solution. So I'm going to put a green check mark by that. Next, we have to solve the remaining problem. So remember, the 1 is by itself. You put an x beside the -6, and you put an x squared beside the 8. And then we have to factor this out. So I forgot to put the square on the x. So you have 8x squared minus 6x plus 1 equals 0. Now you're going to drop the square and put 8x in both parentheses. Keep the first negative sign. Multiply negative times positive is a negative. Now multiply the 8 times the 1, you get 8. And if you break that apart into 4 and 2, -4, -2 adds up to -6. Now get rid of the extraneous factors, which you have a 4 and a 2. If you cancel those out, you'd have a 2x minus 1 and a 4x minus 1 equals 0. Set each of these factors equal to 0. And then you get 2x equals 1. and 4x equals 1. Divide by 2 and you get x equals 1/2 and x equals 1/4. So there's 3 solutions to the solution set, 2 and 1/2 and 1/4. All 3 of those are the answers. Okay, then number 11. This one says 1 over 5x plus 5 equals 3 over x plus 1 minus 7 over 5. So first of all, factor a 5 out of the first fraction. So erase that 5x plus 5 and change it to be 5 times x plus 1. That means the LCD is equal to 5 times x plus 1. Multiply every term by the LCD, all 3 terms. So 5 times x plus 1, 5 times x plus 1, and 5 times x plus 1. In the first one, the 5 cancels and the x plus 1 cancels. And the second one, the x plus 1 cancels, and the third one, the 5 cancels. So in the first term, you have 1. Second term, you have 3 times 5. And in the third term, you have negative 7 times x plus 1. So you have 1 equals 15 minus 7x minus 7. 1 equals 18 minus 7x. Subtract the 18 from both sides. If you subtract 18, 1 minus 18 is negative 17. So negative 17 equals negative 7x. Divide by negative 7, you'll get positive 17 over 7 equals x. Oops, I think I made a mistake. So 1 over 5, x minus 1, that's 1. Then you have 3 times 5 is 15. Yep. Then minus 7 times x plus 1. Okay, that's good. Oh, I didn't make a mistake. Why in the world did I say 15 minus 7 was 18? So this one right here is a big mistake. So let me backtrack. Let me backtrack. Sorry, my fault. 15 minus 7 is actually equal to 8. That's better. And now if I subtract 8 from both sides, I'll get negative 7. Now if I divide by negative 7, I'll get 1. So 1 equals x. Like that. And make sure that 1 does not make the denominator 0. So if you plug in 1, you get 1 plus 1 in the denominator, which is 2. So 1 is going to be fine. So x equals 1 is the answer. Okay, let's do number 12. So 12 says 2 over x plus 4 plus 6 over x plus 5 equals 11x plus 19 over x squared plus 9x plus 20. First of all, we have to factor the right side. So erase the x squared plus 9x plus 20 and replace it with what it factors to be, which is x times x, and then a 5 and a 4 multiplied equal 20 and add up to make 9. So we're going to erase that and replace it with that. Now we're going to multiply every single term by the LCD. And what's the LCD? The LCD is x plus 5 times x plus 4. Then the x plus 4 crosses out, and you're left with 2x plus 5. Then the x plus 5 crosses out, and you're left with 6x plus 4. And then they both cross out, and you're left with 11x plus 19. Then distribute the 2, 2x plus 10, and then distribute the 6, 6x plus 24 equals 11x plus. Now combine the like terms, so you get 8x plus 34 equals 11x plus 19. Subtract the 8x from both sides because it's smaller. Then you get 34 equals 3x plus 19. Subtract the 19 from both sides. And then you get 15, I believe, equals 3x. Divide by 3 and you get 5 equals x. Make sure that the 5 does not make the denominator 0. So if you put 5 into x plus 4, you get 9, and 5 into x plus 5 is 10. So that's going to be fine. So the answer is x equals 5. Then number 13. It says x equals ph over p plus h. We have to get h by itself, so solve it for h. So first cross multiply, do the top of the left times the bottom of the right equals ph. So cross multiply that times the left side. Distribute the x, so it's xp plus xh equals ph. Now get the h's on the same side. So xp equals ph minus xh. Factor one h out. That leaves you with p minus x. And then divide the p minus x underneath the left side. So it's xp over p minus x equals h. Now make sure you put your answer in with small letters, not capital letters, just to make sure you get credit for it. So h equals that. Sorry. H equals that. Then number 14. A company is planning to manufacture mountain bikes, and the fixed costs are 300,000, and it costs $300 to produce each bike. So the cost, therefore, is equal to fixed cost plus the variable cost per bicycle times x. So the answer is 300,000 plus 300x. And then in part B, find the average cost. So the average cost is just equal to the cost divided by x. So the average cost is 300,000 plus 300x divided by x. And that's part B. I'll try to finish ASAP. I think I can barely make it. I know. So let's see. So part C says how many mountain bikes must be produced each month to have an average cost of 400. So plug in 400 for the average cost and then solve the equation. So now cross multiply by x. So you have 400x equals 300,000 plus 300x. Subtract 300x from both sides. And then you'll get 100x equals 300,000. Divide by 100. And you get x equals 3000. X equals 3,000. So 3,000 mountain bikes per month. Then let's do number 15. And so number 15 gives you a certain problem. And it shows you the table for it already, so I'll just put that straight into an equation. So distance divided by the rate. So you take the first distance divided by the first rate equals the second distance divided by the second rate. 7 minus x. And then you cross multiply. So 18 times 7 minus x equals 10 times 7 plus x. Wow, what's 18 times 7? 70 plus 56, 126 minus 18x equals 70 plus. I'm going to add 18x to the right side. If I do 10x plus 18x, I will get 28x. 70 plus 28x equals 126. Now subtract 70, then you're left with 56 equals 28x. Divide by 28, you'll get 2 equals x. So the answer is 2. The number 16, see you later. 16 is a faucet can fill a sink in 6 minutes. It takes 4 times as long for the drain to empty the sink. How long will it take to fill the sink if the drain is open and the faucet is on? So it's going to be 1 over 6 and then minus 1 over 4 times 6 is 24, 4 times as long, equals 1 over t. So the LCD is equal to 24t. So multiply everything by 24t. Notice that when you're pouring water into the sink, it's a positive fraction, 1 over 6. When the water is flowing out of the sink, it's a negative fraction. So then the 6 divides into 24 4 times, so you get 4 times 1 minus 1 equals, oh, I forgot the t. Sorry. There's supposed to be a t as well. T. So it's 4t and then 1t, and then 1 times 24 is 24. So 4 minus 1 is 3t equals 24. So divide by 3 and you get 8 equals t. So 8 hours. Then, last but not least, 17 says radiation is equal to inverse variation of the distance squared. So at 3 meters, the radiation is 62.5, which 3 meters, 3 squared is 9. So you get 62.5 equals k over 9. Now multiply by 9, you get 62.5 times 9 equals k. And then we're going to use the equation again. Radiation equals k, which is 62.5 times 9 divided by distance squared. And in the second case, the distance is equal to 2.4. So if you plug in 2.4 squared and you calculate with your calculator, you'll get a radiation level of 97.7. So that's the end. And good luck on your test. You're super amazing.